Hi everybody, and welcome to this little video. I just thought I'd pop on and do a little card with the Filled with Sweetness bundle and the Homemade Sweetness DSP. So I have used, I'm going to use a white card base, and I'll put all the measurements for this on with the video. So I'm gonna use a plain white card base, all right, and I'm going to use this embossed piece. You can use any piece of you can emboss it in whatever design you would like. So I'm just going to glue that down. Hopefully in the middle. That's not very straight. And that's strawberry slush, that colour of cardstock. And then I've got a piece of Night of Navy, and I'm going to put that on, glue that on the middle again. Just so that you can see the piece of your embossed out each side there. Make sure that's glued down well. And then a piece of the Homemade Sweetness DSP. I'm using the side with the hearts, and I'm going to mat that on top of the Night of Navy. And then I have a little strip of the gingham, which is out of the same DSP. And I'm going to put that just across the middle like so. So that's your base card, and then we're going to do a bit of fussy cutting. So I'm going to take a little strip of this paper and see which ones we're going to use. We will use honey, and we use the orange marmalade. We'll use those two, and we'll use those two. And my cat has just decided he wants to go out. So let's just fussy cut these out quite quickly. Simba, having a bit of a storm here tonight. And I honestly don't think the cat is going to go out in this weather. So you can't see him, he's off camera at the minute and he's just looking outside to see whether he's going to go out or not. And these jars are very easy to fussy cut. There's not much to it at all. So that's all our jars done. And don't ever throw away these little ones here, the ones that are at the edge of the paper, because what you can do with these, I'll fussy cut them out and then I'll show you once the card's finished what you can do with these little half jars. So that's that, and I have die cut this little shape from the jars dies, and I'm going to stamp with the thank you stamp, and I'm using Secret C. Stamp that there. And then we can go ahead and arrange our little jars along the card. So I'll get our glue and I'll glue our middle one down flat. Just bear in mind where you want to put your little thank you or your other sentiment that you have. And really you can do this card with just the papers. You could use a different sentiment of your choice. And then these two, I'm going to pop these up with a dimensional. And that gingham bit, I think, looks a bit like a tablecloth. And your little jars are sitting on the tablecloth. So that's that bit done. And then we can add our sentiment. I'm going to put it about there. And then I've also die cut in the dies. You've got these little flowers. So I'm going to put a couple of little flowers around it. You can always put little gems on top of those flowers. There you go. So that's the front of your card. And then, as I said, these little bits, don't waste them, because what you can do is you can stick these on the inside, but at the very edge. So you could put it about there, just like that. And then, just to finish it off, we'll maybe do a little sentiment on the inside. How about "You're the sweetest"? There we go. And what I should have done actually was maybe, if I can lift that up a little bit, I could have squeezed that little jar in there. It's not going to be perfect because I can't get the bit of paper lifted. But if you could have lifted that up a little bit, you could have just slid that in behind there. Like so. So there's a quick little card with the Filled with Sweetness bundle. As I say, all I used in the bundle is the sentiment bit, the flowers. The rest of it is using the paper, which is still available. And it's called the Homemade Sweetness 12 by 12 paper. And that's all the papers. Strawberry slush in the background, embossed, and a little bit of Night of Navy. And that's just a nice little thank you card. So I hope you enjoyed that. I will put the measurements up beside the video. Thanks for watching. Bye.